show, and Beena, I'm
Thank
so
you,
glad to
Beena.
see you. And I just caught the end of that, so I'm so sorry for whatever's going on, but I'm really happy to hear you back
Thank you.
on.
Thank you. So
Yeah.
today, the first time from that day, I am here again. But okay, I'll mute myself and I will listen to you guys. So
Oh,
please
cool.
carry. Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah.
and
Okay.
for being here.
All right.
Yes. Thank you
Perfect.
for being
Well, what
here.
I could share with you, Beena, is
Yes.
December crazy? Absolutely. You're not alone in your
Yes.
craziness. So,
Yes. 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 We want to
um,
hear all about it. We want to hear all about your magical adventures.
Yeah, yeah,
oh,
yeah.
So,
you
Yeah.
talk about
yes. Yes.
magical. You talk
Wow.
about the universe giving me exactly, I mean, exactly the timing of all of this
Yeah.
to work together, that you can see me today. I mean, I actually slept last night. That's why I'm running around like a crazy woman, because I overslept. So I had to quick get myself ready because I have to go to work, and boy, do I have a list of tasks, or I have a mission. That's what I was thinking about in the shower today, that I have a mission to see if it can get accomplished within the next couple of days, to see if a resolution will arise from it. And if not, well, I guess that wasn't the right choice, and I'm okay with that.
Cool. Can't wait to hear all this. You got us on the edge of our
All
seat
right. Well,
now.
first of all, let's put it this way.
Yes.
I can't thank all of you enough, because these books, I can tell you this, if I did not have these books with me, I would not be, one,
Show us. Show us.
where
Show
I
us.
am
Show us.
right now, and I also would not be as ahead as I am. I would actually, I didn't realize how much left there was, that I would really be behind.
Mhm.
Ah, show the book. Show the books. Beena hasn't seen.
Oh,
Yeah.
here I have, because I'm working on, I'm finally in 8, but here's number 7. Let's see if I can.
You see Beena? You see
It is the
Beena?
actual, and
A little bit of a glare.
It's
let's
all
see if
right.
I can get a. It's a
There you go.
test. There we go.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Oh,
It's
Bless you.
just the slides, Beena. These books are absolutely amazing. They saved the day for me. They could not have come at a better time, where I had the time. I must say, the universe gave me a lot of downtime, that as all of my magical adventures were unfolding, I was able to approach them impeccably.
oh, fantastic.
And when we
Fantastic.
get to some of the slides, as far as the in the body again, I did not take any of this within my body. Now, that's not to say today I didn't wake up with a runny nose and stuff. So I'm sure there's going to be a residual somewhere. There has to
Yeah.
be. That balance. There has to be a balance of something somewhere is going to have to give. But
Hmm.
Mm.
that's okay. I'm
Yeah.
aware of it. So, um, in a nutshell, my day started going to Oklahoma.
This is
Um,
Friday, right?
this is Friday. So, on Fridays, on Friday, traveling, flying always gives me that bit of nervousness. I think it gives a lot of people, excited,
Mm.
nervous. Plus, it was so cold after that snowstorm, having to shift the plane ride, the flight, getting on that plane, and then they're going, well, we can't leave until we de-ice the plane. I know that that's normal, but it's never happened to me before. That was a first.
Yeah,
So,
standard practice. Yeah.
yes. So I'm like, okay, this is good. My new thing is I just watch all the flight attendants. That's my big thing. So we land.
Ah, you
So
take your
first,
cue from them.
I do. So, and that's from reading a book once. So
Okay.
we're on the plane. I'm nervous. I'm working with all of this. Uh, when I'm on the plane, I took the 2 modules because I hadn't been done with module 7, and I took module 8, and I took out the book. And as I started to write, as I took out module 7, went to where I was. Oh my gosh, did it help me as I was in the middle of this flight, to relax me as far as the plane ride. And I think I have a little bit of that in here. I think anyway. Um, But then I land. I land in Chicago. And that's when life began. Um, First of all, Chicago is a city in itself. I've never been there before, to that airport. Wow, was I impressed.
Yeah.
And what was really interesting too about it was not only was I impressed, but because I had just got done with looking through Module 7, I looked at this airport with completely different eyes.
Mm.
I went, look at the beauty in this. Look at how big this is. Oh my gosh, look at all the stores, and they have a museum here, and this is a city. So I saw more than I probably would have ever,
Yeah.
because of what the work I had just done on the plane.
Good.
And then
And then, drum
then.
roll.
Phone call comes in. It literally says Jenny Craig. I said, I'm not talking to Jenny Craig right now. I'm traveling. Go dink. And the next call comes in, Spring Haven Assisted Living.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Click up and answer the phone. Your father fell. We don't know when. We want to send him out. He's having trouble breathing. Okay. Me in the past. Oh, this is just the beginning. Me in the past, that would have put me into an immersion bubble.
Mm-hmm.
I did not go into an immersion bubble. I actually took a breath. I said, okay, what do you need to do? So he's going to be going out. Okay, can you please do me a favor? When you take him to where he is, can you please at least let me know which hospital he goes to so I can follow up? I am getting on another plane. I am in Oklahoma, I'm heading to Oklahoma. So I'm not available.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, just saying the words, understanding that, Robin, what are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
And also knowing that my habit would have been that had I been home, I would have gone into an immersion bubble, still couldn't do anything, but I would have been in an immersion bubble. So now all of this is going on, wow, you're not taking this on. You're just doing everything appropriately. You're getting the facts, you're listening to what's going on, and you're just saying, okay, sit and wait. When I get to the other side, if he leaves or whatever, please let me know what's going on. But when I get to the other side, I will get in touch with you.
Wow.
Boom. I go sit down. I say,
I need to interrupt you 1
Sure.
second here. Sorry. Just name that app sobriety.
Mm-hmm.
That's what was coming up there, right? In you. You responded with sobriety. Sobriety. Yes?
thank
Robin?
you. Yes, thank you. Because my big
that
was about
did you hear the
replacements.
sobriety in your thank you there?
Mm.
Your voice sounded different right there. The way you said thank you had that sobriety, that maturity, that overviewness. That's it. Fantastic. Fantastic. Fantastic.
Wow.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. So
Well,
please put sobriety in your dictionary of power. Big deal. Big deal. Big deal.
So when I sat down, I said, okay, I don't want to alarm anybody, but I do talk to my aunt, his sister. I would like her to know what's going on in case she tries calling him. So I actually called my mother. And I called my mother. Oh, wait, my mother's going to come into play in all of this. So I called my mother and I said, Ma, I just wanted to let you know, I just received a phone call about Dad. I'd like to let Aunt Bonnie know. Just to give you a little scratch of my Aunt Bonnie is all talk. So you can't get a word in edgewise when you talk to her. And she talks to you, at you.
Mm-hmm.
And you just have to find when you can end the conversation and say, okay, have a great day. So because I'm at the airport, I just said, Ma, can you please let her know what's going on? This is all I know. And I will, as I know more, I will share. Boom, done. And now here we are getting on the plane. Now I'm on the plane because of this beautiful magical event. Because Sue, that's when around the time you had texted me. And that was all. And again, that was only the surface. That was just the beginning. So I get on the plane and Kevin and I could not sit next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now that I had this magical moment, I had this magical event happen. I was zoomed out and was able to go, wow, how you approach this. how you used all the tools, how it was fascinating to me. I couldn't wait to take out my books. So for the next hour and a half, I was just writing.
Mm-hmm.
I land in Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick's there. I get in the car. I call up Spring Haven. He was taken to the Lakeland Regional. Miss Robin, they want to send him home. They did a CT scan of his head. He didn't fall on his head. He was complaining of his side. Can you please tell them we don't want him back here until they take a scan of his side?
Mm-hmm.
I understand. I look up the number. I try to get through. They were very nasty, but they said Dad was okay, that they were going to go and do x-rays. Okay, look at, right? All good.
Mhm.
Except for I hang up the phone and I get a call from Advent Celebration Hospital. Advent Celebration Hospital? That's where my brother is.
Oh, wow.
Hello, Robin? Yes. This is so-and-so from Advent Celebration. Your brother is going home. I need you to help him get Medicare.
What?
My brother's going home. I need to help him get Medicare. Long story short, my brother must have thrown a fit in the. Now, remember, he had brain surgery.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what the true story is because guess what? She can call me to say, help him get Medicare. But because I'm not on the medical stuff, she would tell me absolutely nothing about his medical. And I have to call about transition to care for him when I have no idea what's wrong with him. How can they be releasing him from home when nobody's at home? Which, by the way, he convinced them all that I'm coming down there today. And he still thinks I'm coming down there today.
Oh, poor guy.
So my brother, who was I'm going to use this for lack of a better word, an angry elf all up and through this because that's his personality, is now Disney World. I mean, this is just my way of making nincompoopery of the situation because you talk to him and he's like, okay. So now I have this situation going on where I have this man living in the house by himself where he goes, oh yeah, I fell. I just kind of tucked and rolled. So I'm going, oh, okay. And he calls my mother. At some point during the day, he called my mother. He's never in my entire life called my mother. Now, I'm from my dad's second marriage, just so you have an idea.
Yeah.
My brother and my sister, who is deceased, was from the first marriage. I am from the second. There is my other half brother from the third. He called my mother. Hey, Lynn, how are you? I'm doing just fine. Everything is good. So, red flag.
Yeah.
The nephew brought him home. So now what was going on with the nephew at this time? Because he had no idea Kevin was coming home either. His grandmother, his everything, because his grandmother basically raised him, was going into the same hospital that Kevin was at.
For what?
At that very moment when he gets a phone call saying, what, he's going home? And he doesn't have the skill set to ask certain questions of why or what.
Mm-hmm.
So right now I am dealing with a brother that is home alone in a house after brain surgery with not one person in there with him. I have a father who, when I did do a follow-up call on Saturday, he answers the phone out of breath. I need help. I need help. I'm a mess. I need help. So I go, pause, Robin. And I think he had gone to the bathroom. I said, remember, Dad's not all there. So was this an event that happened before our phone call? Is this an event that's happening right now? I'm not sure. Dad, I will call somebody and I will get you help. That same woman who had called me about his fall, I want to thank her when I go visit her, by the way, side note, because, there are just certain aides that help your family members. And
Yeah,
this
it's
woman has
important
been
to
there.
follow up on that. Yes, very important to follow. So make a note. Make a note. Yeah.
She then calls. I find out that I call the desk. I say my father's calling. I said I don't know if this has happened already or if it happened before. And I wind up getting a call from Miss Ashley, and she says, Miss Robin, I'm here. I'm helping take care of your father. He did have an accident earlier, but I guess he must have had another one or didn't get cleaned up properly. Okay. Until I got another phone call. Your father won't get out of bed. He will not get up. He's just laying down. I can't get him up to get him cleaned up. She
Wow.
goes, if I put you on speaker, now this is out of my skill set. This is new to me. You know, I've done this for my mother-in-law, but never for my father. This is completely new skill set for me. Okay, puts me on speaker. Dad, can you please get up? She just wants to clean you up, but I need you to stand up. I know you might be sore because he did fall the day before, so he could be sore. He starts going into the janitor came in last night and he was doing stuff and I just want to go home. So in my head, I'm going, is this real? Is this not real? I don't know. I have to trust. I have to trust. This is all about trust. I said, Dad, and then so I immediately took that out of my head because again, I could have gone into immersion bubble and I have before making up stories that were not there. I said, Ashley's there. Dad, I need you to get up so she can help clean you up so you will feel better. And somehow we got him up, we got him into the shower, and then she was able to let me go. And he was taken care of. So my follow-ups today, that was all in a nutshell, by the way.
Wow.
So my follow-ups today is finding out about my dad. I think what I'm going to do, and I'm saying think because I'm working on these missions, these resolutions, is I did call to Country Meadows down the block to me. After hearing my dad, I know my family situation. For me, my dad has always been good to me. I may not have this close relationship like I do with my mom, but then again, as you can hear with that side of the family, there's a lot of mental health issues there. So I can actually say that the gift the universe gave me was two separate families. So I have opposite ends of the spectrum, so I can learn how to work with both sides. Mm-hmm. What I learned with my brother, the gift what I have been given is, because I was ready to go again into this full throttle mode, was these are all choices that he made. Everything where I am at right now with him for me was because of choices he made. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying for me because I'm getting involved in this. That's the main thing. I'm not blaming. I'm going, I'm involved in this now. Because I'm also part power of attorney. So I may not have the medical side, but when you're talking for me, to me, when you're talking Medicare side, that is part of power of attorney, getting that side together. So I really had to sit with this to not go down a path that I could have gone down. Mm-hmm. And again, these are decisions he made, which is why he's where he's at. He wanted to smoke. And again, because he's not of sound mind, life is beautiful. So I don't know whether this is because of the surgery. I also don't know, did he snap?
Yeah.
You know, did he just say, you know, I don't care anymore. I came out of this. I wanted to die and I came out of this. So I don't know. And I can't talk to him because everything in life is beautiful. It's like talking to my dad, very scary. My dad before he got sick, into the assisted living. And by the way, the whole situation with my dad in the assisted living, my dad needed to go there for a long time, but him and my brother were like this. And instead of my brother saying, this is what has to be done, whether you like it or not, again, I think I may have mentioned this, that my brother admits right before he went into the hospital, he never had the ability for the follow through, which is what I have the ability for. Because during COVID, when my brother had to have his first round of chemo, I'm the one up here that had to put my father into that nursing home from here. So, yeah, that's in a nutshell. So when I leave here today, after being with all of you, I have to go back to work, and then I have to make lots of phone calls. So when I mentioned in the beginning about my mission and about this resolution, I said I've come up with this set of tasks that I'm going to try to perform. And when I say that, what I have on my list is the way we had it worked out, because I believe this transition of care may be how he gets this nursing service. I'm not sure. I was able to make an appointment for January 4th, because again, this is where me going, I didn't make these choices. I have my family. I have my things that I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And all through my adult life, I always put my immediate family on the back end and always took care of everybody else first.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to get a little emotional here. I choose not to do that anymore because it wasn't healthy. It wasn't healthy. I see how some of my kids, some of their behaviors and stuff, I could see where because of choices that I made. And I choose not to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I understand now from all of this, these are because of choices others made. And I can't force them to do anything. I can only choose what works for me. And I have to trust. I have to trust that whatever is going to be is going to be.
Yes.
And why am I choosing to make this task list? And this took a lot too. My concern is if something happens to my brother, but I don't want something to happen to my brother where he makes a mistake and it hurts somebody else, like his neighbors, like the house burns down and takes the house next to it out. I don't want something like that to happen.
Yeah.
So what I will be working on today is there is a service called Granny's Nannies that was there for my father before all of this, to call them. Hey, remember us? Do you have availability where I can pay for this service for a couple of days and possibly get him this transition appointment in the next couple of days before they are not there for the holiday break?
Right.
Put me on speaker so I can explain the situation, and then my brother can sign paperwork that I can talk to them as far as so I have an idea of the medical, because the other way this was going to work was there was going to be no visit until I drove down there the week between Christmas and New Year's. And then I'd be driving back, and then I would have to fly back down for January 4th.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
So much can be done over Zoom and proving things. Yeah.
So if I can get this service in and I can get this appointment, that to me will take one thing off of my to-do list.
Yeah.
I sent an email to Country Meadows down the road from me.
So you're thinking of bringing your dad up here?
I am thinking of after this situation, I said, my dad's going to be down there for the rest of his life by himself.
Yeah.
Now, I know I hear all kinds of stories and battle things, but for me personally, my father has never been anything but good to me.
Mm-hmm.
That is.
Keep that.
So how can I look at, I've talked about my dad before. So look at how I've had to really work through this. I go, how can I, as a human being, leave somebody alone, paying people to come in and sit with him when he can be right down the block where family can come and visit him? And if there's an emergency, I'm right there. And his sister, I can bring my aunt to visit him. And this it was a thought in the back of my head, but there was just so much going on. I couldn't, but I was able to go there and say, I don't know if it can happen. I mean, remember, we're also in the middle of COVID. Right. I don't know if this is possible, but again, I have to say, let's try it.
Is he well enough for transport?
I believe physically, he's actually very well. It's mentally. He comes and goes because, when we talked last week about the smoke and mirrors, again, there are people that have talked to him. So, I asked my aunt because I knew she talked to him after the event with him getting cleaned up. So I wanted to ask her, so how was dad when you talked to him? And I didn't mention anything until after she was done. He had no clue about what happened. He just kind of interjected my name a couple times.
Wow.
So that really showed me that how, you know, mental health is a disease. Nobody knows how it works. I do have a little bit of anger. I will be honest. With the hospital, I don't understand how they can allow him to go home
Yeah. Yeah.
without any help at all. And if it's just a patient that had brain surgery convincing them that somebody was coming, I don't understand how that can be. So that
Yeah, there's some issues there that should be looked at. I
I'm
mean,
really
safety
upset about. I mean, I'm upset, but I will be honest with you. It's not in my body.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I'm going.
In his case, you can't treat him based on his best. You have to take him at his worst,
Worst.
because his worst compromises everything,
Correct.
And he's
right?
apparently he was very agitated and angry in the hospital. And what was really interesting is that not one of us, as far as family members, since he's been home, has he shown one bit of anger. And we're going,
Wow.
this isn't,
Wow.
this is,
I'm sure something switched in his brain. I mean, if he had anything going on there, tumors, or cancer, whatever it was, how does it not affect some part of your personality? It can't.
and 1 week, I mean, a week to the day, he's going home.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Wow.
I've got my list of things to do. I am doing what is best for me, and I am going to trust. If it doesn't work out, I trust, capital T,
Yes.
trust
Yes.
that I am being extremely impeccable
Mhm.
with what I can do, what is right for me. And that is where I am at. And again, this having the books was huge because they helped keep me where I am right now.
Mhm.
Because as I'm writing, I can apply. I'm going, what a gift, all of this happening, because I was literally able to apply and feel and understand what the slides were saying. We even got to one slide in here where I thought about work too.
We.
I.
Oh no, I was hoping you were sharing with somebody.
Well,
That's why when you said
well, the
we, I'm
way,
like,
well, when I say the way,
this is gonna-
because, it's fun. All right, yes. Because I've been saying it's funny when I was getting towards the end of these, there was a lot of we coming out because, and I had to change it to an I. And the reason I had to change it back to an I was because it was a reminder for me. But this everything where I'm at is because of we.
Mhm.
Is because of we
Collaboration.
right here, the we in my family. But I also had to remember that it's still I that has to do the work.
Yeah.
So yes, there has been this.
Mhm.
I know I am not doing this alone. It is because of we, but I have to remember that I have to do the work.
Yeah.
So, and that's a reminder to me that I have to do work. So, yes.
It's a collaboration
Yes.
and a personal responsibility. Both.
Yes.
Yeah, application. Yeah.
But I love that we. I love that we. Yes, we're in this together. I love it. I love it. We are. We're a team. We're a team. Yeah.
A team that, and my husband, oh my gosh, impeccable. I had also asked if Patrick wakes up before the session is over. If he would come downstairs so I can introduce him to you. So he said yes. So
I was hoping for that. I had that intent over the weekend. I was thinking about that specifically.
well, if he's up, he mentioned that he would come down and come on. So I might have to switch over to Zoom or something, but not Zoom, to my iPad, like Kathleen. I will let you know this though. For the next week and also Wednesday, I'm not going to be able to be on at this time. But I am available if there's another time that does work. I am
Okay.
not, it's just the Monday, Wednesday, well, for next week, it's the whole week just because of being down in Florida, and I don't know if I'll be able to get on the internet. It's not so much the time.
Well,
I
you
might be
let
able to
us
use
know.
I might be able to use my phone. So Sue, I will
Yeah.
keep in touch with both of you. But I
Yeah.
do know Wednesday morning, I'm taking Patrick to a doctor's appointment, and it's for 9 o'clock. So we have to leave about an hour and a half early.
Mhm.
Yeah. You
But
definitely
if you
can
wanted
do
to
it
do
on your
anything
phone.
else,
You definitely can do it on your phone. It's no problem.
um,
Yeah. Even if we
so
do
yes,
shorter, I don't like
I
too
think
much.
it's important. Well, here, that's part
Very
of this is
important.
that
Very
I
important.
feel it's important, especially where I'm at the moment. I'm having this breakthrough, and I'm also working through this. I really feel it's important to keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
Well, you
So
just let us know. For me, I know Sue has other stuff, but Mondays and Wednesdays are free days for me right now. I don't have
they
any
are
Wednesdays.
okay. So even if there's a certain
So,
time, all right,
Yeah.
so anytime
Yeah.
throughout the whole day, I'll be available. But Sue won't be so necessarily. So you just let us know when you can. If you can't come at the scheduled time, and we'll arrange it for later in the day. But
Mhm.
you'll
okay.
definitely be able to connect on your phone. But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to skip. The
Yeah.
continuity is very important. Yeah.
Yeah. So this Wednesday is definitely a no at 7, correct?
It's a no, it's 7. I might be able to be in the car, but
Uh-huh.
then I won't really be. Well, then again, you might have
It's
Patrick,
not.
but
Yeah.
that's a tough one. I should probably I might be able to be. My
Want to do
goal
it?
is to hopefully be home by 11:30. So what I can do is when Patrick's appointment is done, I will know how long it
Okay.
takes me to get home. That I might have an hour when I get
Excellent.
home where we can
Yeah.
at least touch base with this because I am up to module 8 and I just started to do session 2. So I have a whole lot
Excellent.
done here that I can go through.
Excellent.
Good.
Excellent.
Yeah. And that
Excellent.
Wednesday
Excellent.
around
That's important.
11:30 or 12, that works for me. So, or,
Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
so
Perfect.
yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. I'm
Perfect.
pretty open on this Wednesday. So yeah, you
Excellent.
just let us know. Uh, and we'll go for there, but I want to just change mine that are up for a tentative 11:30.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Yeah. And I'll be up from the usual time before that, so I'll be available for all the time. So no worries there.
And now that Patrick is home, you will, so if it doesn't work today, you are going to get to meet Patrick. And we were talking about you yesterday as well, because he was talking about his communication
Oh,
class. And so,
oh,
Nice,
yeah.
nice. Oh, I can't
good.
wait.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to connecting with Patrick very much so. Looking
Cool.
forward.
All right.
And
We
Kevin,
ended
gonna meet
on,
Kevin at some point too, by the way.
well, if I'm on next week, you will definitely get to meet him next
Yeah,
week
just
on Monday or
to
Wednesday.
even say hello, because it's only fair we hear about Kevin, but he doesn't know what we look like. I mean, yeah, he hears about us, but he can get that, and just to bring into the circle. The more inclusive this is, the more potent it is. So
Mhm.
it's important that everybody is involved. It's very, very, very important. It's
Yes,
really, really
because I can share with you that since Kathleen had her talk with you, that's when her whole life shifted.
yeah.
And I can actually pinpoint it to that day. And watching everything going forward, how she has shifted, I'm going, was it really from that session? I mean, it could be, but I'm going, I know that there was a difference from that day forward. So,
Sometimes it doesn't take much, It's just when time and opportunity is right. It's not
Right.
that we necessarily do something, but we're the fulcrum point.
Mhm.
Without a fulcrum point, a lever is useless, right?
Yeah.
right.
So that's what we are. It's not that we do something. You are the lever. Caitlin is the lever, but we the fulcrum point. And without that fulcrum point, like I said, the lever is just a stick, but the fulcrum point makes it into a lever. So yes, sometimes, just being connected can make a big difference, because we serve as that fulcrum point. And that's why I want to include everybody, because when they are connected to this, it becomes us, like you said, we. And for
We,
me, I want that we to include Kevin, Caitlin, Patrick, all your children, everybody, your brother, your father, as many as possible. The more that are included, the better. Because otherwise, it's mom's thing, it's Robin's thing. Now that will make barriers for you. when it's everyone's thing, and they all, no matter if they just are, sometimes just even paying lip service to it, doesn't matter. As long as they in some way connected to it, very empowering, very potent for everybody, and especially for you, of course. It really
Oh,
enhances. So
I
thank you.
mean, the gift of all of this, again, I just have to say it one more time because I am able to see how I try to do everything on my own in the past. But again, it's because the gift of what's going on. It's, oh, okay. So we
So
ended
you
with
see what
that.
I'm saying with the collaboration and the teamwork. It's
It,
when that happens, it changes everything.
Sue, you dropping off those books.
Yeah.
I mean,
Timing was perfect.
you talk
Picking 'em
about
up at-
divine timing. The universe just.
Picking them up at the printers. I was there right when she was finishing work. It was amazing. Amazing. And then when she saw the Gifted Out book, she's like,
And I knew I had to leave it home because I go, no, you have to get work done. And boy, as I mentioned, wow. If I wasn't given this gift of this weekend of a lot of downtime with that book, I would not be where I'm at. My situation is my life got really busy. We'll just call it busy. And as you had mentioned that everybody takes this course and everything going on, everybody's is different. And for me, I needed this downtime with this book, and thank you.
well,
All right.
so how do you feel differently? I mean, it sounds like a very different Robin. How do you feel differently?
I feel tall. I have,
Yes.
All right, let's go even further. I know this may seem like TMI, but I am always constipated. Always. I'm not constipated.
Yeah.
I feel this, you can hear it in my voice. I'm calm. It was almost as if a switch happened. And it was on that first plane ride when I started understanding when the pages were correlating with what was going on within me. And then there was another module, there was another slide that said that when your mission is done. And it was in module 7. And I said, I feel complete.
Yeah.
I actually feel complete. I'm done. And yes, yes, Beena.
Robin.
I was almost, but I have to keep going. I have to keep going because I see now how module 8 is just a reminder of bringing it all. And this is why. And this is why. But I remember going, I felt very complete with work because I did not share with you when I think I have it in here, but I felt as if maybe my mission is complete with work. And it's time for me to move on. I had a dream that night, which was really interesting. And my dream was, I don't understand this part of it. There was mud in my shoes, but it was, no, I'm not ready to leave work. But here's when I woke up and I go, I don't know what the mud in the shoes had to do with, maybe the stuckness. Like I wasn't in the shoes. Yeah. I wasn't in the muddy shoes. The shoes had mud in them. I wasn't in the muddy shoes.
Oh, I was saying, but in order to get muck on your shoes, you have to walk through the muck. You have to go through it. So if you're no longer in the shoes, means you've been going through it, but you're no longer in it.
Yes.
You've gone through it. It indicates a past tense of having gone through the mud, having gone through the muck. Yeah.
The awareness of what was. Yeah.
Very cool.
And then I just said, I'm not ready to go just yet because it's affording me, one, it gives me something to do, and it's affording me the opportunity to get my hair cut, to
and implement.
Yes.
And practice, and capital P practice.
Yes.
Gives you opportunity. And we want that. No matter how much we may know something, we need to practice practice it, because it takes time to implement, because it's so much. I mean, in a couple of months, we've gotten an entire lifetime's worth of stuff. So opportunity to practice is very, very precious and valuable and necessary. So we have to be aware of that. Yeah.
Not
So
only
hold
your,
on to that opportunity to practice.
not only your daily life do you make the applications for all these life transforming changes, but it's critical when you have the luxury, in a sense, of having clients to work on.
Yes.
And being given to you
And that's
to learn even more. That is
it's a big gift.
Don't toss that away.
Yeah.
right. And
Also, it gives you an island of stability in a sea of change. Make it poetic. Very necessary. Very necessary. You've got an anchor.
and that's exactly
Because so
what
much
it
is
is.
swirling and changing.
So yes. All right, slide 16. This is my first one.
One second
Sure.
before you get started. Just on your constipation point, this is what we do as facilitators. It is to relieve emotional, psychological, mental, past constipation. It's really what we do. We just provide that. We just that laxative. That's it. Really.
Getting the crap out.
Yes.
Getting the crap out.
Exactly. But we just facilitate it, really. Okay, so we have to give an enema every now and then, but it all works. It's really good to know, because that key point in the hearing and helping thing, just hearing itself and making sure another feels heard. That feeling heard, this is the constipation release.
Yeah.
Right, Sue? Yes.
Absolutely.
So it's a big deal that you mentioned that.
Yeah.
It's a very big deal. We carry stuff all our lives, and then suddenly something comes and it releases, and man, you're all better. So not TMI. It's very potent, and that sharing, it's very potent. It's very potent. It's very, very, very potent.
And my body just feels so. I mean, I've been sitting with all this, going, wow. As I said, I woke up late today. And, that whole mood management perspective. Okay, well, I usually do this, and this. Let's just get it done. And I ironed Kevin's clothes for him.
Oh, there you go.
Because we're running late and stuff. And he didn't even ask me. I just did it.
That act of love. It's an act of love, and it's an act of a gift of energy. When you do it in that spirit, it's just a beautiful, magical, joyful thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think this was a little more than
that's capital S service.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. You're getting all the toxins out of your body. So I said, it's a little more than a laxative. It's more like a high colonic.
I don't know all the technical terms, but yes, it's magical.
But I mean, the gift, the universe has given me this gift, and how many times I never realized it was a gift. A magical gift, and watching my perspective changes, and then replacements. What am I replacing this with? How can I replace this? I mean, those were never words in my vocabulary, and they're just.
Yeah. Fabulous.
Yes, replacement. Capital R, replacement. It is one of the core underlying philosophies. It's not just a power term. It's like appropriateness. Replacement is a philosophy. It's an understanding that changes everything. It's a paradigm shift. So replacement is a massive big deal. Some things are bigger deal than others, but that shift from fixed to replacement, oh my goodness, it's transformative. Changes everything. It's a very, very big deal. So to get back to, with your work and everything, you are replacing. Practice is making sure that we build in that replacement, that we repeat it, that we entrench it, that we take it into ourselves, that we make it innate, that we incorporate it. So practice is how we make that replacement last. Because if we don't practice the replacement, then habit comes and steals that replacement away.
Yeah, I honestly look right now at work as, once upon a time I would look at it, I would do the pros and cons. But again, I also recognize now, and I'm aware of that was a lot of ego in there,
Mhm.
where now I'm looking at it as just practice, application, service,
Mhm.
accountability, adaptability, trusting. It is just
Mhm.
a small piece of my life that, because I don't work as much as I used to.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
where I'm at right now with everything going on, that's a good thing
Yeah. Yeah. How could you? How could you?
and a blessing for where I
Mhm.
work, that it's affording me the opportunity to be able to take the
Yes,
time off to be able to do what I
yes.
need to do.
That's
Mhm.
another blessing of your work. You have great flexibility there,
Yeah.
which is
Yes.
hard to find,
Yeah.
So that's a magical, magical gift. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And because I've built up my trust with
Very
my
magical.
boss, it allows me to do what I need to do when I need to do it. It may not always be convenient, but it allows me to be able to do what I need to do.
Mhm. Perfect.
So, all right, are we ready?
We're ready.
All right.
Yes,
So we
yes,
were in
yes.
module 17, 7, I think session 1.
Mhm.
I'm
Correct.
on
I
slide
mean, normally I'd
16.
ask Beena for, sorry, before you go,
Yeah,
normally I'd ask Beena for perspective and comment, but we're just energy management for Beena.
Yeah. 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 Keep it easy.
Love that you're
absolutely.
here, Beena. Love that you're here. Love that you're here. We feel you. We feel you. Brilliant.
Okay, the
Keep going,
repeat
Robin.
back. Shifting to play with purpose changes everything. My takeaway on that was I was once told to just play while vacuuming or sweeping the floor. Just have fun. I can make fun out of anything. I am understanding this more. How simple task doesn't have to be so hard. It is fun if only I allow myself.
Exactly. It is fun if only I'll allow myself. Yes, yes. Beena has a powerful comment here. Constipation also symbolizes an urge or a desire to hold or control others and situations. It also represents our reluctance to share, capital S, share. Yes,
Wow.
Beena. Yes, Beena. Yes. So, that is symbolizing an urge or a desire to hold or control others and situations. This is important because we can't do it on them, so we internalize it. Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Hang on, just
Very, very
because
insightful.
I'm going to take a
Yeah,
picture of that so I can write it down later.
yeah, yeah. Or you can copy and paste it as well.
Oh,
Something.
we're getting there. We're
But
getting
that's
there
good.
right now.
It's all right. But
That's level 2
That's
for her.
right. Yes.
yeah, I'll copy and paste it into Messenger for you, and then
Okay.
you can.
Thank you.
Sure, sure.
All right. Slide 17 was without application, it's all meaningless. Takeaway, application is key. I can become aware. I can see the more, even feel it at times. But unless I apply all that I have and am learning, it's all meaningless. The becoming aware of the moreness, the tests and gifts in my life, the looking back. I was, have been, and will continue to apply all that is inside me, the real me, the more me, me. Oh, here we go. I had said I was going to take my trip to Florida and break it down, but this came to me. Remember? I had said I was going to take my trip to Florida and break it down, but as I am on the plane to Chicago, I have been repurposing all morning and even before bed. In bed, knowing I still need to pack, procrastination. Also knowing I don't need much, trust and successful testing from previous experiences. Kevin coming in the room and noticing I am not packed, habit, laziness. But am I lazy this time and procrastinating? Or do I just know from previous testing I am more adept? Get up and pack, application and calm. Calm because I prepared. I chose not to procrastinate, even though I knew I would be successful. It would have led to poor energy management.
Yeah.
Once packed, settled, and confident. Sleep. Woke up at 2. Thought it was later. Mood management. Immersion bubble or trust to go back to sleep. And the alarm would wake me up. Sleep. Alarm goes off. Innate. Jump out of bed refreshed and a bit surprised how easily I did go back to sleep. Trust. Jumped in the shower. Diligent, deliberate, as I made sure Macy went out the last time. Make sure the last items packed and ready to go. Trusting all will be as it is unfolding. Ride to airport. Could feel nerves. Normal. This is an unknown. Flying, but going to see my son, pick up Patrick. A mission that requires steps and following through as appropriate for this step. Airport, TSA pre-check, ease. On plane, a bit of nerves, feeling uneasiness, pulling modalities, breath, using meditation of noticing how is my body and where am I holding as I have this nervousness. Awareness, deliberateness, innateness, choosing, being. Remembering and choosing different thoughts. Maybe part excitement, joy, going on an adventure to see and return home with my son and hubby. Sending text to the girls, I love you. Trusting, choosing, feeling, deliberateness, allowing. As I write more, space and breath in my body and chest, openness, sharing. This is a way of being, moreness, clearing, changing, being impeccable at all times. Repeat back. When I learn to perceive deliberately, I begin to untangle the world.
Oh.
Oh,
Please
that's from
repeat.
that was from something else. Yeah.
It don't matter. It don't matter. Let's hear it again. That was really cool.
When I learn to perceive deliberately, I begin to untangle the world.
Yeah. What a fantastic quote. What a fantastic quote. Wow. When I begin to perceive deliberately,
I begin
so
to
I just want to get
untangle
the
the world. Who
exact
said
words
that?
right.
I forget who said that. I'll have to look back.
You did. Sounds like that's a Robin quote to me, but doesn't matter. It's in your dictionary of power now. No matter who said it, you own it. It's coming from you. Yeah.
And that was the end of Module 7, Session 1. And now we're on to Module 7, Session 2. Capital T. I'm telling you, I mean, you couldn't make this up. Capital T. Trust.
It's hard work. Yeah.
Caution can be negative as an anxiety or worry and fear and stress, or it can be positive, as in prudence, circumspection, preparedness, awareness, impeccability, thoughtfulness, consideration, and strategic thinking it through. All of the above can be connected to trust. It is trust which has made the difference in the shift in my state of being. Takeaway. Transforming my anxiety and worry of what if to what about. Trusting that I am following through on my choices, whether good or not so good, but knowing I chose with impeccability. But even more, trust. Slide 2. I am trusting that I can. I am trusting that I will be able to deal with whatever. I am trusting that I will figure it out when I need to. I am trusting in my goodness. I am trusting in my impeccability, in my scrupulousness, and in my diligence. I am trusting in my awareness. I am trusting in my ability to be strategic. Takeaway.
Robin repainted right there. That is Robin repainted.
I mean, after you can't make it up. I love it.
Still wrote that slide for you for that trip. Wow.
Takeaway, trusting, going to the bank before the trip, knowing if anything, I will find a resolution if one is needed, but trusting I have been appropriate with my choice. I don't even remember what that was. It doesn't even matter because it didn't apply to everything else that happened.
Yeah.
Slide 3, above all, I am trusting in my ability to apply appropriateness, using my awareness and looking at matters from a more overview perspective. I am trusting my new clarity because my vision is not clouded by worry and anxiety, which of course are awareness, narrowing, limiting ways of being, and thus totally counterproductive. And all this was
Energy
happening,
drain.
and this was before all the crazy. So this is when I was still on the plane, which is interesting.
Wow. Wow.
But how did it apply for when I got off the plane?
That's right. It sets you up. It sets you up. Mhm.
The simple experience of flying, I can have anxiety and what if, or I can choose trust, zoom out, pause, and receive clarity. Here I am engrossed in my module and writing. The first leg of our journey almost over. Creating moreness and having more. Clarity of the gift of this course, along with the test given to me for my internal intention of practice and being. Creating trust, gratefulness.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow.
Slide 4. This trust is using confidence garnered from past experience. The difference between trust and confidence. Hang on one second. That was Tiffany. I just have to. I have that trust. This morning, you are next week. Only because this will clash with the timing of me having to be in work. Okay. This trust is using confidence garnered from past experience. The difference between trust and confidence. Confidence, I underline this. Confidence is premised on the positive past, and trust is premised on the positive future. Trust is based on knowing that my abilities, characteristics, and traits are what will enable me to successfully deal with a future situation in which I may not have specific experience. I don't need specific experience if I can figure it out. If I can calculate and use what is in my core self, use my actual being to resolve matters. Takeaway, Florida. It's not really my personality and experience, which is the basis for trust, but capital C confidence, which is based on character and awareness. The combination
Character and awareness, right? Yes. Yes. Sorry, that was just a huge statement. It's very simple in there. It's very obvious. It flows as part of it. But that's a big point. That's a massive, massive, massive big deal. Yes.
well, especially when you put the combination of these three allow me to trust my ability to be appropriate in the future.
Exactly. 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 That connecting link is that now you connected to the infinity of moreness. Right there. You have everything you need.
Confidence built by my trust, based on opening and becoming more aware, understanding my character, experiencing past experiences, shifting perspective, and finding a confidence that had just been waiting patiently for me to find, all built on trusting myself.
Mhm.
Slide 6. This all is why capital T trust is such a huge deal. It removes fear and anxiety and makes worry petty and foolish. The only time to worry is if I were being crappy. Then it's valid.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's an indulgence. I cannot worry and stress about what I have no control over. I underline that one.
Yes. 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 Yes.
That's
Okay.
just
That's
wasteful and foolish energy management.
yes. Thinking it through right there to the end, making that logic chain, when it comes to worry and anxiety and stress. Well, it's the foolish. Well, oh, duh. Well, it's poor energy man. Well, duh. Oh, it doesn't really accomplish anything. Well, duh. And yet we can do it despite all the does for not doing it.
Mhm.
Fantastic, 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 Robin. Fantastic, fantastic.
My takeaway on that one was got off the plane in Chicago. As I was walking, received a call about my dad. He's being taken care of. I am halfway around the country. There is nothing for me to do but trust. Worry and stress would be poor options. I mean,
Yes.
la.
Yeah. Oh, so fantastic.
Oh, it is
Oh,
magical.
Yeah.
yeah.
Slide 7. I trust impeccably because I am impeccable. I trust because my intent is always pure, as it's always an intent to goodness. I trust knowing I've done my best. My conscience is clear,
Yes. Yeah.
and I've done right according to myself, and I've done all I can.
Ah.
The rest is not up to me, and I trust because trust too is an intent. I trust because when it comes to where I have to trust, I have no choice but to trust. And as an impeccable spirit warrior, I can, in such circumstances, do no less than trust completely with the fullness of my ability. Capital T, trust. My takeaway was Florida.
One moment, real quick. If we now take this, when you said your conscience is clear,
Ugh.
when your conscience is clear, you can let go of the stuff you are holding on, right?
Mhm.
So constipation is also from when we have this doubt and we aren't able to let go because we know we haven't done everything we can do. Our conscience isn't clear, which means we have to hold on to stuff. You can't sign off and say, okay, I can let it go now. Now it's trust, right? So when we do that release, we shift from the holding, which was appropriate. We processed it, we're done, we finished. Now I can let it go. We move into trust, right?
Mhm.
Oh, that control. Oh my. Oh. And
Yeah,
Mhm.
how many times have I done that without?
all your life. Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
Oh,
yeah. Past tense. It's a thing of the past. Now you know the process.
Right.
You have the tools. You are impeccable. You do what you can do. You figure it out. You resolve. You research as much as time and energy allows. Then you process it. You think it through to the end. You make peace with your conscience. You make your decisions. Once you've made them, you say, I've done what I can do. My conscience is clear. Now I trust.
oh.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right? Trust is the last act of impeccability.
Florida. This right here as I write. Trust. Tools to trust. My intent to trust. Trusting and using energy and management. Appropriate, calm, open being.
Ah, Robin repaint.
Mhm.
Repeat
Now,
back. Go ahead.
one second, 1 second. I just want to appreciate you, and I'm keen for you to appreciate you, right? Yes, we say Robin repainted, right? And repainted means it was always there. You know, when they restore an old masterpiece, right? It's kind of all shabby and faded and whatever. It's a little bit murky. You can't quite see it. But when they restore it, all that moreness comes out, right?
Mm.
Right?
I
In other
just,
words, it was there
Mhm.
all along.
but I was using it incorrectly.
Mhm.
Precisely, exactly, exactly. And sometimes you'll see those old masterpieces where somebody has, copied over it, or they disguised it, or they hid it so that people couldn't see it, whatever, for whatever reason. And they remove the stuff on top, and then the real thing comes out, right? So I just want you to be aware here, Robin, that what is coming out, this moreness, was always in you. Yes, there are new
Oh, yeah,
techniques, new
no,
skills. Yeah, yeah, but this
I
was
cannot
always
believe
the real you.
the awareness I've had as far as being in similar situations in the past and how the using of my tools was so different. Because I don't want to go back to the wrong or right, because I don't
No,
think that's appropriate for me either. That's not fair to
it's not.
me.
It's not. It's not.
Uh,
It's not. It's not.
mm-mm.
But it's just wow. And now moving forward, yes.
Yeah, do
Cap-
yourself a favor, just to remove those words from your vocabulary, wrong and right,
Mhm.
and even agree and disagree. We're not interested in them. We couldn't be bothered about them. They're just confusing and they just cause hassle. Wrong and right are variables anyway. What we want is understanding. That's what you have now. All of your notes exhibit your understanding, capital U understanding. Yeah, that's it. Wrong and right, yeah.
No, I'm gonna work on that understanding word. Got that one.
Yeah,
I like that replacement.
yeah. And
Mhm.
when you discuss with somebody, when you interact, and take it out of your vocabulary. Just wrong and right, agree, disagree. Just remove them and just substitute understanding. It's incredible, the transformative shift. Incredible. So I'm not looking to agree or disagree with you. I just want to understand. That's it. When you understand, it all falls into place. It's all
Mhm.
it's a magic that happens. And you are understanding yourself. You are understanding how you relate to the world. You are understanding what's important to you, what's significant to you, Robin, what's meaningful to you, Robin, what matters to you, Robin. This is what you're understanding. There's no right or wrong to it. It adapts as appropriate. That's it.
You know what's really
As appropriate.
interesting is I've talked about my dad and saying I don't know what to do. I know I've said that and how to approach it. And it was just, I felt really good when I had that awareness last night of hearing my dad in his distress, and also my openness, not my, I think I kind of closed myself off out of habit from past, oh, here we go again, habit. Let's just call it habit.
Habit.
And
Yes,
I
our
also
enemy.
knew that I didn't like that habit as well, that I knew that there was more to this. And it felt good to me, calm to me, open to me to have the ability to go to shift and say, you know what? Okay, this isn't appropriate anymore. Maybe I needed to be there because I couldn't deal with it at that time. But I can now.
Yes.
So let's zoom out and see what the best action to take. Let me look into up here. And that felt good.
Mhm.
That I can say the word, but I will shift it now. That felt understanding.
Mhm.
Yes.
And
It was understanding.
it's funny because if you shift the word good and understanding, and I only say this because it's been pretty funny, when you go through Missouri, my word now is going through Missouri because it's 5 hours long. It's almost like going through Pennsylvania from
Yeah.
one shot to the other. It's like Pennsylvania. So, but here I can use that nincompoopery with understanding more,
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
All
Very
right.
important. Very
Capital T trust, a power when I've exhausted. Again, capital T trust, a power when I've exhausted all other options.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
Yeah. But then and only then, because you have to do the work. You have
Yes.
to stay connected. It's not like handing it over. You got to stay active, just as like what you're doing now with making your task list and going through it. But it's trust from here on in. Yeah.
Yes. But yet there's still work to do along with it.
Right.
It's a really interesting
Yes.
that I've got this task list because I can't just sit there and go, well, I just trust everything to happen.
That's
Because
right.
I still have to be a doing. I still have to apply. I still have to.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Some
It's
that's
not
where
going to do it for me.
I think that's where a
Yes.
big misunderstanding comes sometimes. They think trust is I'm going to let somebody else finish it for me. You trust in God and you walk away, or you trust in another human being. But that can't, that's not the case. There's still an active doing that needs to occur.
Yes.
Yes.
That little T trust that you see so often on the thing. Oh, I'll just trust. No, that's just an indulgent cop out. That's just BS. Sorry to say.
Yeah.
But that's just you know, bailing on the things and hoping and wishing for the best. No, it's rubbish. It's complete nonsense. It's just sheer indulgence. So
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, what you are saying, Robin, that's why it's called capital T trust. There's a massive difference. The two are worlds apart, right? Worlds apart. The way you are sharing and relating your understanding of capital T trust, it's premised on this massive foundation, this pyramid underneath of doing, application, 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 thoroughness, scrupulousness, diligence, impeccability, energy management. Every single thing is in there at the top, capital T trust. Yes, at the end. That comes after you've done all the other stuff. Then it's the last and final part of the whole picture. That's when you're on your way free.
Mhm.
Yeah.
My
But trust is
takeaway,
also a doing. Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
no, my,
right,
well, that
Robin?
was my trust innateness. Trust is an option for me. It's all I have at this moment. Appropriate trust, trust and trust for trusting. It
Exactly.
is a doing. It is, you know, I didn't write this. I wrote this before this whole situation with my brother. And, but it's this that got me through as far as the granny nannies and taking these steps to,
Yes.
because yes, I could have just said, I'm going down next week, figure it out. But
Mhm.
that's not appropriate. That's not appropriate either.
Mhm.
It's trusting that I'm going to take these steps. I cannot choose for others, but I can take the steps necessary and trust that how this unfolds is the way it's supposed to be.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Trusting God,
Mhm.
real God, not Father in the sky God, not the bailout. I'm in trouble. Help me out. Not give me gifts and stuff. Not the one you beg to and all. No, no, no. That intent that is God. The intent for moreness. The intent for awareness. That is the realness, right? When you trust that you do your best, things will work out.
Mhm.
That's a real trust in the genius and the awesomeness of God. You can't always see how, but you trust. And then you stay open because you are trusting. You stay open to pay attention. And then later on, you notice it. Sometimes for me, it has been decades later. And I say, ah, oh, I see now how it all works.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's something special because I stayed open to seeing it, right? We don't have that trust. We're never open to seeing the genius, the magic, the awesomeness that's the universe, that is intent, that is the entire system, that is God. However you relate to it, doesn't matter. But the moreness, in other words, we see the genius of the moreness. And that's why we keep saying there's always, always, always more. Always. But we have to trust in that more.
Oh boy, it is there. Well, my slide 9
Mhm.
was when I let go of the myth of superiority and realized that from the universe's perspective, I'll always be less than in some way. Then it all changes, self importance becomes irrelevant. I strive for in heart gains and value, not relative, empty, meaningless gains over others. Then my attention
Yes.
and energy will no longer be on me and my drama. And my takeaway was thank you, Florida. Thank you, Dad. Thank you,
Oh.
Sil, Sue, Beena. Thank you.
Oh,
Oh.
oh, thank you, Robin. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, you are an incredible gift for us.
Mhm.
You have to know
No
that.
question. No question.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable gift. I mean, what a joy. What a joy. What magic. What magic. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
It all begins with energy management. Most of my energy is spent on self. If I do inventory of where I spend my, I love this. If I do inventory of where I spend my energy and look at the actual returns on investment, it's horrifying to realize on what I waste these inordinate amounts of energy, mainly because of
Yes.
pointless worry, which is the basis of stress. I mean,
We're going to rename this entire module Robin. We're going
oh my gosh.
I love this. I love this because it is a profound, it's like, man, the universe just came and went. It's like, wake up, hello. It's so brilliant. It's so brilliant.
I mean, you can't. I mean, you cannot make this up. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
My takeaway was, wow, what an aha to more awareness. The blessing of doing this on the plane, noticing how open my physicality is, my mind calm, my body relaxed, even though I have unknown ahead of me, trusting in the universe to provide my next steps.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah. And trusting in yourself to take those steps.
Mhm.
Two things, right? You trust in the universe to provide the steps, but you also need to trust in yourself to take the steps provided.
Mhm.
This is a big point.
Mhm. Right.
My slide 11 was my
Sorry,
feedback and
I just want to
take.
emphasize that point
Good.
again, right? Pay attention to the world around you and see how often steps get provided, but people don't take them.
Mm.
It's a huge deal. The difference between, uh, even knowing that the steps might be there, then looking for them, paying attention, knowing, observing. But we have to have that ability and sometimes that gumption to take those steps. Sometimes the universe says, oh, you know what, this is going to be a bit of a risk here. You got to have a bit of gumption. But we need to develop that ability, that self-trust to take
But
steps.
that's where also
provided.
for me, the patience comes in.
Yeah.
That it's almost like the patience, the pause,
Persistent.
Powerful.
yeah, it's almost like I have this PPP
And the
going on,
practice. And the practice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perseverance.
Yes.
Perseverance.
Yeah, it's a lot of magical P's. Oh, we love them P's. Yeah. P, E, and A.
Mhm.
An app. All right, repeat back
Yeah,
takeaway. I
exactly.
don't know what I wrote here. This is going to be interesting when I read this back to both of you, all of you, 30 of you. I'm sorry, Beena, I'm so sorry. That was. I can trust that the universe will show or reveal what's needed if I can't find what I need through my own impeccable efforts. Capital T, trust, especially. It's different to ordinary trust because it's a trust with awareness, a deliberate conscious trust. Ordinary trust is mostly the escape for the naive, the lazy, the hopeful, the unprepared. Ordinary trust is a backstop to prop up a lack of impeccability. But capital T trust is a power. As with any power, it's not ever really mine. I belong to the power. Rather, oh yeah, I love this. As with any power, it's not ever really mine. I belong to the power rather than it belonging to me.
Mhm.
Yes.
Power thus demands an exquisite balance, a supreme refinement, a delicacy of soul and purpose. God, trust in God. I belong to the universe. The universe does not belong to me.
Yes.
That was huge.
Ah,
That was just a reminder of how all of this is.
Mhm.
yes. Read that again, please, Robin.
As with any power, it's not ever really mine. I belong to the power rather than it belonging to me. God trust in God. I belong to the universe. The universe does not belong to me.
Mhm.
I sat with that for I would have to say a good 10 or 15 minutes, really soaking that in.
Yes. Send that to me, please, Robin. Send that to me.
I think this one I did a repeat back takeaway. I might have incorporated some of my own stuff. I'm not sure.
It's all good. It doesn't matter. It's the way that you encapsulated it in the end, and this is the power of it. So it's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Capital T trust can be used, but only after I have done everything else possible. This is the price of power. It demands impeccability and respect. God, I love this. And abandon. Once I have done all I can, I have absolutely no other choice but to trust. I have to commit to trust. This is why power owns me, for a commitment has to be total. Power is a jealous lover. I have to abandon myself to it, but without losing myself. Controlled abandon. Always, I need to retain that bit of control, much like a good lover. The abandon has to be genuine. I have to commit in ways that demonstrate my abandon to commitment. I have to leap off the cliff with the fullness of my being, and my takeaway was the jump and grow wings.
Mhm.
Yes. Grow wings on the way down. Yes. Or the way up, actually. Once you jump and you grow wings,
You
you
start to
fall
go
up.
up.
You fall up. Yeah.
Slide
Up for
13,
you.
repeat back and takeaway was the same. This is how trust owns me and how I come to access the power of trust. Through that one way, no return, wholehearted embrace of trust. An act not lightly undertaken, bleh, one which can only be done with the purest intent, with the full knowledge that this last resort is indeed my only option, and never one I have I knew I was going to be able to say that, saved as a mechanism for getting myself out of trouble.
Surreptitiously.
Yeah, I think I need a different word in there.
What was the word there? Surreptitiously?
Yeah. We need a word that
Ooh.
Robin can say that she.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just break it down, surreptitiously.
My slide 14 was I am an explorer, and the terrain I travel is human experience, the glorious, rewarding path of my self discovery. I am more, so much more than my feeble ego and imagination can believe.
Mhm.
My takeaway was I am enough and I am more.
Yeah. You are, Robin. You are.
I mean, can you not
Absolutely.
believe the beauty of these slides?
Yeah. Oh, good. Oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed them. So glad you enjoyed them. Oh, I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Slide
Just love how
15.
everything came about magically,
Oh my
Just
gosh. I mean, and again, understanding what they mean.
yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to have this understanding of them, this innateness of them, if I didn't have the experience that I'm going through.
Exactly. Exactly. Right there, Robin expressed capital A appreciation. Right there, capital A appreciation. Yes, exactly. Exactly. It all connects. There's a magic genius to it. Magic genius to it.
Oh, this was a simple one. I mean, the repeat back was uh, this journey requires me to learn, to grow, to make sense of my very nature. Oh my gosh. I am seeking to be the best in imperfect circumstances, as these are ideal tests of my reality of self. It is easy to be perfect in perfect circumstances, but my true measure is revealed in the less than ideal. I have to ask myself what I truly, really, deeply, actually want. I am on a glorious adventure, an adventure into the infinite more. It is essential I fully understand the precise nature of trust. And my takeaway was simply for today, because I also know
Wow.
that there will be moments again where I'm going to not be in this spot. I just trust that. I trust that I know that I'm not going to be there, but I also trust that I will have this magicalness again. And that's why I had to just bring it back to I do for today. I do for today,
Wow.
because if I were to say I do now, that is not fair.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow. Wow.
Slide 16. Here also resides a super benefit of impeccability. It enables me to trust without the anchors of doubt. I wrote takeaway. I must take a minute with this. I have to trust myself. If I doubt my choices, then I am not trusting, nor am I being impeccable, because if there is any doubt, then I must be sure my choice that I choose is the right one for me. Otherwise, I must zoom out and pause before continuing or choose differently. There can be no doubt if I am being an impeccable spirit warrior filled with the intent to trust.
Yes, yes. I would recommend there in the beginning where you said about choices, just to add in front of that my impeccable choices. Right? If you read it again, it just adds a different flavor. You can doubt your choices if they haven't been impeccable, then you need to doubt them. But once they've been impeccable, different story, right?
Mm.
It's the impeccability that shifts the logic on the choices. Yes?
I have to trust myself. If I doubt my impeccable choices, then
Right.
I am not trusting, nor am I
Yes.
being impeccable, because if there is any doubt, then I must be sure my impeccable choice,
Yeah. Yeah.
my my
You can put impeccable in parentheses, in brackets.
that I choose is the right one for me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I must zoom out and pause before continuing.
Right. Right. Right.
There can
Because
be
that
no
means
doubt.
yeah. Right. There can be no doubt on an impeccable choice, but on an unimpeccable one, there has to be doubt.
That's why I had to sit with that. I really had to, and I remember that exact moment.
Love it.
I was sitting next to this soldier on the plane. I sat there and I just remember I had my soda because I felt like having a soda. And I haven't drank soda in a long time, but I was like, I feel like having a soda. And I remember just putting my seat back and just looking out the window and feeling that. I was feeling that repeat back. And
Nice.
how do I,
Right.
this is important.
Yeah. I mean, what I heard, and if I listen to the deepness of what you're saying, it's implied that those choices are capital C choices or impeccable choices. So I just felt it was useful to add that in. Like I said, put them in brackets. Even the word impeccable, just to make it clear, just to be really sharp on that, to say, it's there's a big difference between an impeccable choice and capital C choice and a little c choice. Same with trust, same thing. The two are not the same. They're not in the
No.
same world, not in the same universe.
I don't remember exactly what the task was, but I know the next one was the task, and I just wrote, I have a new relationship with trust. Trust has taught me trust. My trust has shown me impeccability. My impeccability, a relationship I never knew, but one I am finding more of. Awareness into more. Trust with each new experience. Awareness to areas that can zap my energy and the ability to not settle and waste it away, but preserve it and let it grow. Impeccable trust.
Mm, mm,
Oh, fantastic.
mhm.
Fantastic. Yeah, just write down the tasks. It helps us because otherwise we forget
It
what
was
they are.
what is your relationship with trust? And she answered that. And how does it connect to impeccability? And where are you?
Let's hear your response again.
She summarized it. Yeah.
I have a new relationship with trust. Trust has taught me to trust. My trust has shown me impeccability. My impeccability, a relationship I never knew, but one I am finding more of. Awareness into more. Trust with each new experience. Awareness to areas that can zap my energy and the ability to not settle and waste it away, but preserve it and let it grow. Impeccable trust.
Oh, excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Yes, fantastic, fantastic. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
My module 7, session 3, making sense of it all. Look at a magical adventure, life missions. Can't make it up. Yes, life is full of missions. They all have magic intertwined within. What an adventure. um, Slide 2. The grand story is always my own journey, and I am the author, the goal, the mission, the development and enhancement of awareness. It's the mission of the universe which conspires with me on this grand adventure. I cannot, of course, give myself direct instruction for developing and enhancing awareness. Then it would be programming. So I have to help myself directly. My takeaway was, why would I want it differently? If I choose me and I am me, then I have to help myself make impeccable choices.
Yes, yes, yes. So let me ask you something here, Robin. If we were to step out and you were that point you made there about the magic of the universe and the point and the purpose of the universe, what it's all about. Do you feel you would be able to explain this to someone else? Not that you need to or want to, but that you could.
Immediately, the first habit, and I'm going to say it's a habit because
Excellent.
immediately I get that, here I go, I don't have the words to say it. And I paused because I recognized that I was ready to be a habit. And so I paused and said, can I do this? And my honest answer is, I'm not sure, but I'd like to give it a try.
Yes. And observe that even though you may go into it with some uncertainty, as you start, as you do it, it will come, and you will see, oh, this isn't as difficult as I thought. You'll find the words will come to you. So pay attention to that, because then you remember the big overview of the before and after for next time. Next time I'm not sure, but oh, wait a second. Last time I wasn't sure, and when I did it, when I put it into implementation and practice, and I actually just did it, it became easy. And then it opens us up to being able to do, even though we have a bit of uncertainty. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Yeah. I would recommend just finding anybody, doesn't matter who, even if somebody is sitting next to on the plane or in the bus stop or wherever, in the waiting room, any opportunity you have, just share it with somebody, right? Explain it to them. Just, oh, this is something that I was thinking about, that came to me, dealing with part of it, whatever, however you want to preamble it, it doesn't matter. And this was a big point for me, and then you explain it. Whether or not it's relevant to them makes no difference. You are just using it as an opportunity to practice expressing this particular point, because it's a seminal point. It's a huge deal. And if we are able to express it and articulate it, it transforms it inside ourselves. This is the magic of sharing. It leverages that understanding into capital U understanding. And that capital U understanding, when we can express it like that, it enables us to truly utilize it, to own it, to self-prove that we know it. And it's a massive, massive big deal. So very,
Yes,
very powerful.
because you said something about the practice. And it reminded me again, when I was on the plane on that second, over, I was sitting next to a young sailor. He was going home. And I actually...
Warriors, you're sitting next to spirit warriors.
So what was interesting is that I used the opportunity to practice.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, I really just wanted to sit there and not do anything.
Excellent.
And I know that I'm working on the ability to, you're talking about the hearing. So because it's very easy for me to feel, sometimes I have a hard time with hearing and remembering. And so I use that opportunity to ask questions, force myself to, okay, here you go. Let's ask some questions and see if you're really hearing and listening to what they're saying.
Oh, fantastic.
And so I forced myself to ask questions, and then I forced myself to sit there and listen to his responses to see if I was actually hearing and comprehending what was being shared with me. And it was a very interesting experience in many ways.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Yes, it was a very interesting experience.
Fantastic.
Task. I guess I did a task of.
Very good. Very good. I'm looking forward to, to the hearing and helping and implementation and doing that as a program. That would be something. But yeah, that's fantastic. And also, not saying stuff, just being there in silence and just enjoying, just being. This is the most profound practice that we can practice, to practice just being. This is the encapsulation and the end point of everything. When we can just be, that's the most profound doing of them all.
Yes, but I'm finding innateness in just being. What I'm
Exactly.
not finding
Exactly.
innateness is the engaging.
Yeah, but it'll come.
So
The first one.
it's very interesting.
Yes.
Because I'm going, you could
It's-
just sit here and do nothing. It'd be absolutely fine. And boy, how wonderful that would be. But is that what I
Yeah.
should be doing? Should you be practicing here? You have an opportunity to practice here. And
Exactly. But the premise for external doing is to have peace of being, is to be able to just be. Then you are relaxed within yourself. You don't have agendas, you don't have pressures, you don't have needs, you don't have all of the stuff. So then you can practice the external doings freely. Yes, we do need to prove to ourselves that we can implement, we can engage, we can practice, we can express. It is absolutely critical, but it's founded on that peace of being that we have first.
Mhm.
Oh, they all go together. It's as appropriate, always. Always
oh,
go together. Yeah.
as I said, it was magical. This whole trip was magical. It was just,
Wow, it's absolutely magical. I love that you had the warriors to talk to, spirit warriors. In the
oh,
abstract,
yes.
you know what I mean?
Um,
Wow.
Slide 3 was repeat back takeaway. This purpose of awareness is the essence of every story, every mission, every journey. It's the way it all works. Everything is geared toward awareness, and I have to figure it out for myself. But I am helped at every turn and corner. Everything, absolute everything, is geared to facilitate and aid this purpose. Every situation, every event, every happenstance, no matter how trivial. It's incredible, and it's why most do not perceive this marvel, as it's usually beyond my awesome threshold.
But you are perceiving it. You've
That's
been
why
telling
I'll be
us.
honest with you, I had a hard time. I think I wrote that, I put that in parentheses because that was part of it, but it didn't feel appropriate for me. But I put it down because it was in the slide. So,
Yeah.
and
But
as
it's
I
good.
went
In
along,
general,
I
that
started to
applies.
omit stuff, but
Yeah, but in general, that applies. But you are seeing this incredible magic. You are.
right.
Right? You
And
are
that's
seeing how
exactly.
it, all that magic is working for you, how everything is geared towards you, it all revolves around you.
Mhm.
Very cool.
Repeat back takeaway. Yeah, these were some long slides, by the way.
But that's cool.
This
It's cool.
awareness,
It's a lot. Also, it's long because you've seen the moreness that's all in there.
oh, this awareness enhancement and development process is the intent of life itself. It's as if DNA carries this imperative within it, and this imperative is now within me. I can either go to make the attempt at awareness myself, or if not, pass it to the drive to my children. Oh, yeah, I know I kind of wrote this, but this struck a chord because it was, I have to complete the task. It is up to me, because when I was reading this, oh my gosh, these are my kids. They're all starting to text each other. I know we've talked about this and how we're all connected, that I am doing this work for me, but I'm also doing this work for my family. But I also am aware that they are on their own journey, that I am doing this to help them, to hopefully change things for them, but also knowing that it is still their journey. It is still their mistakes to make. It is still there. But if
Yes.
I can do my work, and I'm doing my work because I want to do my work, because I want to be as helpful as possible, but I am also very, 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 very aware that their work is not my work to do either. So this was a really,
Yes, 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 yes. That is a unbelievably profound breakthrough awareness. That's a huge deal, especially for parents. That is one of the hardest understandings for them to come to. There's a capital U understanding for you right there. That's a massive capital U understanding. You can't do it for them. You can do your thing and share it and hope, but that's all it can do in the end. You can't do it for them because you will rob them of the opportunity to achieve real awareness by themselves. If you did it for them, you actually is counterproductive, right? You can't. It's not possible. It's inherently contradictory. You cannot give awareness to others. You can't.
it would actually be controlling, wouldn't it?
Mhm.
You know, that would be that
Exactly.
trying to take control
Ah,
again. And
ah,
yeah,
yeah.
I
No
think if
good
it's
at
one thing
all.
I think it's one thing I've learned, I don't want theirs. I got enough of my own. I don't want theirs.
Exactly,
I love them
exactly.
dearly.
Plus, think of it this way. Look at your magical journey that you're on. Why would you want to deprive somebody else of that magical journey? You can assist them on getting onto that journey and enjoy being on the journey with them, but you can't journey for them. And you would not want to because you deprive them of all the joy and magic that you've had. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Very cool.
All right.
Fantastic.
The slide 5. The problem with regular missions is I don't realize all my life tasks, my goals, aims, ambitions are all subservient to the enhancement of awareness purpose. These subpaths are simply ways to get me started, to provide motivation. It's kind of a trick of the universe. But once I become aware of the grand mission, it all falls into place and everything makes sense. Everything is there for my benefit. Everything is exactly what I need at my point of awareness, what I need to learn. The world in my path, my story, my mission is all custom tailored to exactly what I need to learn and become aware of. In this aspect, the world does revolve around me. Takeaway, what a big task, which requires the utmost respect and trust on my part, my
Yes.
way of impeccability.
Yes. The utmost respect and trust and joy. And joy. That's how we honor the magic is through joy. Yes, through respect and trust, but truly through joy. Because I can respect and trust and yes, and just from obedience, but I'm not really getting the magic unless there's joy. When you
Patrick just came
fully
down.
get it, there's joy. Yes, talking about joy. Brilliant, brilliant. Hello, Patrick.
Here.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Okay.
Brilliant. Hey, good to meet you, Patrick.
Here.
Good to
I'll
meet
just,
you.
you can just go
It's
say
most
hi.
awesome. Most awesome. Most awesome. Awesome.
Hi,
I say
everyone.
brilliant, man.
Hi,
Brilliant,
Pat.
brilliant, brilliant. Hello, Patrick. It's awesome to meet you.
How are
Really,
you?
really, really great.
Nice to
Patrick.
meet you too.
Yeah. Cool.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah. We hear so much. It's nice to get that connection and that see, and we really hope to connect more with you. So very cool, man. Very cool. Thanks for coming on. Fantastic.
Yeah, no problem.
You're glad to be home.
Perfect timing. Perfect timing. You
Oh,
came in
yeah.
right when we were talking about joy. About respecting and trusting the bigger process, all the magic of everything. And I said, oh, we got to add joy to that. That's when we really know we are getting the moreness when there's that joy. Yes.
Right, right.
Yeah. You can respect and trust, but that just can maybe be obedience. But we want to go further. We want to really, really, really get it. That's when we have the joy. That's when you're really getting it. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you came in on a perfect point, man. You came in on a perfect point. I'm just reiterating because it's such a potent point. I just wanted to not lose the magic of that point and share it with you. Yeah.
Oh,
Very cool.
cool,
Very
cool.
cool. Very cool.
There was a big statement in there. Robin, can you still hear me? Or
Here, here.
yeah, or can you put it on speaker or no?
I can't.
Oh,
He's ready to go back upstairs, but he'll come back on with us as we go along because he's home now. But yeah, with this particular computer, it's an old one, so it only works with the headphones. So when we do this like next week, because I know he'll be around and Kevin will be around,
Yeah.
I'll have my iPad with me too
perfect.
and my phone. So between the two,
Yeah. Then
But
you
yeah,
can
but
just
that's
put the
Patrick.
audio on there and you mute it, yeah. and stuff
yeah,
and
with
yeah.
but yes, that was Patrick. So
I love it.
that's
I love it. I love it. I like that fresh energy.
Yeah,
It was
you
a
he
fresh,
is
vibrant
magical.
energy. Yes, very cool.
came down with
Very
some
He's magical, and he loves communication. He loves his communication class. So that's why him and I, we have some really powerful conversations because of
I love
everything
it.
here.
I love it. I love it.
And
I'm
he says
really
it in a
hoping.
different way, and we're saying the same
Yeah.
thing, but he's bringing it from one way, and I'm bringing it from this way. And
Yes, the
so
magic of collaboration.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. That's why I'm really hoping we can get to do something, next year going through, well, now is next year already. So
I know time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, no, there was that big point in there, Robin, about understanding that the universe is really tailoring for you and that the world does really revolve around you. So I'm just curious to hear how you feel about that statement.
It was really interesting because first there's that wow, oh my gosh, yes. I mean, as we say, how magical, and you can't make this up. It's just amazing. And I think it's in a couple of different slides about the being revolving around me and having to understand for me about ego and I think it's even when we get into module 8, there's some bringing it together with yourself, others, and we've touched upon this, that when I hear revolve around me, it does trigger for me still that ego side. So which is a beautiful thing, because understanding how all this works, I still have that habit of revolving around me. But on the other hand, I also have this, oh my gosh, how beautiful and wonderful that how everything is tailored around me for me to be able to live with the real me, shine the real me. It's yes, it's a very explain. It's almost an innate feeling versus a being able to verbalize it of
yes, it's an enlightening awareness.
yes.
And by the way, talking
And that's
about
where that
the
respect came in too. It was very important for me to I had to put that in there because that was a very important for me, that I had to be very respectful of how this works, because it is being revolved around me, that I don't get into that ego side of it, that be very respectful of how this works.
Exceptional awareness, absolutely.
Yeah, it is absolutely critical. And one thing to really respect and appreciate and take joy in, and absolutely transformative awareness is your awareness of habit. Right?
Yeah.
And you put awareness of habit into your dictionary of power. It is unbelievably huge and necessary. It's one of those critical key points. If we do not develop an awareness of habit, then habit is going to come and steal things from you, right? Because habit is a thief. Yeah. So we have to develop and you have developed this. It's really, really awesome to see this awareness of habit that you've developed. It is really, really something special. Appreciate it. Acknowledge it. Be aware of your awareness of habit, so that you can lock it in. You can celebrate it. That you can repeat it, utilize it, maximize it, and of course emphasize this awareness of habit. It is transformative in the extreme.
Mhm,
I just wrote patient with habit.
mhm.
Yeah, yeah. To be aware of it though, if you're not going to be aware when those habits come up, you can't be patient with them. You can't deal with them. You can't do anything. They're just there. Yeah. So you have to have that awareness of habit. Very essential. Very essential. And you do have it, Robin. I'm commenting on what you already have. You have an awareness of habit. You've developed it, you practice it, you repeat it, you emphasize it. And this is what gives you the ability to power pause and be patient and deal with it and perspective shift and look at it in depth and to figure it out, to get through it. This is what really is making you deliberate when it comes to your actions, this awareness of habit.
That was
Very,
really
very,
what was
very big,
awesome
big deal.
that, you know, looking back now at the beginning of this course, and I remember going, I know these tools, but I just don't have it to pull from. And what was really magical about, again, about this weekend and getting off the plane with that first experience was how quickly those tools. It wasn't
Yeah.
where are they? I know I've done this, but it was so,
Yeah.
I mean,
Innate.
it was innate. It was think,
Yeah.
think, think, and then I was able to pause and go, oh, you
Right,
use this, you use
right,
this, you use
right,
this.
right. You see what I mean by the power of this power conception of awareness of habit, hyphenated awareness of habit. It is a massive power conception because not only is it awareness of little h habit, but also now what you just said now, it's awareness of capital H habit. You're becoming aware of your replacements. Why that replacement is such a profound philosophy. You're becoming aware of your tools, the deliberate tools that you have at your disposal. So, in other words, you're becoming aware of application. And that's what it's all about, the transformation from immersion into bubble unawareness, from deliberate conscious deliberation and deliberate awareness and application, thus, of all your applications, all your apps. It's unbelievable. It's what it's all about. Very big deal. Very, very big deal.
All right. If
And
it's okay with
in
all
that
of you,
process, one last word there.
sure.
In that process, because it's going to come in the next session or in module 8, in that process, you are in attunement. You are shifting into attunement. So we'll talk about that more.
Oh yeah, no, I'm starting to be in those. It's
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. I just look at. I just this is the power of attunement and alignment. So I opened right up of all the things that I could have pages I could have opened up to. That was the one.
Yeah.
But just only because it's my first day back getting back to work. If I can just have this couple of extra minutes to.
No problem. No problem. You want to end there? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, please.
Perfect.
And
We can always, wherever you want to end it. We don't have to use all the time up. It's up to you. It's not a problem. It's your time.
and then what I will do on Wednesday is as soon as I am done with Patrick's appointment and I'm on my way back, I will. But it's probably going to be like that 11:30 time. So
That's fine. That's
fine.
fine. That's
You
fine.
just gauge if it's a
That's
little
fine.
different, fine. You
Yeah.
just
Yeah. You just as the day goes, you just text us and let us know what's going on. That's all.
okay,
Just text.
perfect.
Yeah. Because we'd rather wait till you get home so that you can give it full attention rather than doing it in the car.
In the
That's not.
car.
Yeah. I was
And,
just saying, I'd rather wait until you get home and
Mm.
then we can do it fully rather than do it in the car. But we can do it in the car if that's the only option. That's either way. It doesn't matter.
no, that'll work. And then next week we can actually just do it off my phone. So
Oh, I
perfect.
see.
if I have
Off
to.
the phone. Yeah.
Perfect.
That'll work too. That'll work too. Perfect. Perfect. Love it, Robin. Love it. Love it. Love it.
And that, but you want to know something? That's why I made the appointment to visit my dad on the Tuesday.
Good.
Because I said I can leave the Monday and Wednesday open if I needed to, because I know that we do this early enough that it doesn't interfere with anything. So.
Perfect. 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 I love it. I love it.
All right.
Appropriateness.
Yes.
Bye-bye, Robin.
All right. And Beena, I am so glad that you are back. Continue getting better. Continue, just keep on keeping on. And I will see all of you on Wednesday.
Perfect.
All right.
Bye-bye,
Thanks,
Robin.
honey. Have a good day.
You got it.
Bye-bye. 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 So there's a bye-bye in there from Beena also. You can
Mhm.
feel it across the
I hit the wrong thing.
airwaves.